All right, and we are live, Chris.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our Facebook Live broadcast of Your Home Show. I'm Chris Weniger here along with Rebecca Guerrero. What are we doing? This show is all about looking to educate, advise you on your home, whether you're looking to buy your first house, move up, move down, or refinance.
Yes, welcome back, everyone, to episode 36. We're very excited for our guest, Susan Table, who is going to be talking about ID Shield and identity theft and how to protect you and your family from that happening. So thank you, Susan, so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Susan, for being a part of it. First, before we get into that, guess what today is? It's National Handwriting Day. How many people remember how to handwrite a note? So I encourage you to get out a piece of paper and a pen and handwrite a note to someone, friend, family member. It's always kind of neat to get a handwritten note. It's a little bit different than an email or a text. So I encourage you, National Handwriting Day today.
I always appreciate it when I get a handwritten note in the mail.
Isn't it wonderful?
Anymore, so I'm like, oh, yay, someone's thinking of me.
Well, let's jump into the market. We have some really interesting news that I found today. I was excited to share. Banks foreclosed on 238 homes nationwide in 2020. That's down 65% from 143,000 foreclosures in 2019 and down 78% from just over 230,000 in 2018. So now recap on this. 2020, we had about 50,000 foreclosures nationwide. 2019, we had 143,000 foreclosures nationwide. And in 2018, 230,000 foreclosures nationwide. See a trend? So now the worst single year we ever had in foreclosure US history was in 2010, where we had 1,050,500. Wow, that's a lot, but that was a long time ago. At this time, foreclosures are on the moratorium. How long that remains to be seen. We're going to wait and see what the stimulus bill states on that. Will we see a flood in foreclosures once the moratorium is lifted? Not quite sure. Still kind of remains to be seen. So stay tuned on that. Interesting news, in December, existing home sales, which measures closings on existing homes that are for sale, were up 0.7% in December, which was stronger than expected. The market thought we were going to have a 2% drop. So that was interesting. Now, get a load of this. Year over year, sales are up 22%. And yes, 22% year over year. At this time, we're seeing record low inventory. And what that means at this time, there is the least amount of homes for sale that are on the market than ever before. Buying a home is extremely tight right now, and interest rates are still super low. Now, Rebecca, this goes to show if you're a buyer in this market, you really need to be pre-approved.
Yes, it sure does. And we always stress the fact that you want to get pre-approved before you go out looking at homes. But now, more than ever, it is important to do so because, like Chris was saying, there are not a lot of homes out there, but there's still buyers out there. So the one home that you want to put an offer in on, and that's the dream home that you want, there's going to be a lot of people who also feel that way about that house. So whatever you can do to prep yourself to be ready for that market when you do find that home, getting pre-approved is one of the #1 things that you can do. We'll go through everything, answer any questions that you may have, get that pre-approval letter to your real estate agent, and we will call the listing agent just to make sure that we tell them how great of a buyer you are, why we think that you should be the one to get this house. We're going to do anything that we can because we know that the market is very tight. So yeah, just get pre-approved, reach out to a lender. We'd love to help you guide you through that process.
I love the term win the bid. Win the bid when you're going up against other offers.
Yeah, that's basically what you got to do right now.
So for National Handwriting Day, we're going to put down the pen and paper and write a note, of course, once we're all done. Now we're going to go from Zoom to Facebook and chat more with Susan.
Yes, thank you again, Susan, so much for coming on. We really, really appreciate it. So we're going to hop into the questions that we've collected from a lot of our viewers here. And the first question that we always ask everyone is, how long have you been in the business for?
Thanks for having me. I have been with Legal Shield and ID Shield for 2 years, and Legal Shield's been protecting people since 1972. So even though you may not have heard of us, it's not a new company.
So Susan, tell us a little bit about what do you like to do when you're not clocked in?
Well, I do enjoy my work. So I do say I spend the most of my time working because that's really where I feel the most engaged. But I have 3 dogs and I love them dearly, and I spend a lot of time making them happy. I'm also I guess you'd say, a fan and a supporter of a local nonprofit called This Old Horse. It's a sanctuary for older and abandoned horses. So I get a lot of joy out of watching all the good things that happen there.
Yep. So an animal lover is kind of what I'm hearing from you.
Yeah, I guess that's very true.
And if anyone knows anything about myself, they know that I have Tito, who is my little Chihuahua, which is my little baby. So I feel with you, with your dogs, the 3 of them. But Tito won't really allow me to have another dog. He's the only. So we're going to jump right into ID Shield and identity theft and kind of what's going on with that. So there are a few myths out there, Susan, like credit card bills. If I didn't purchase something, I can just call my credit card company and they will remove that. So am I already covered for identity theft because I have that capability?
Well, that's a great question. And yes, fortunately, credit card companies have gotten really excellent nowadays with working with your customers. You can really just call up your credit card and be like, I did not buy that. And it's really on the honor system. I mean, I've almost never heard of anyone having nowadays to fight with their credit card company. So that's a super thing that they've stepped up and they're taking care of for us if we notice. But that's actually just the tip of the iceberg with identity theft, somebody using a credit card. It's much more involved than that.
So another myth that's out there, if I don't bank online, do I really need to worry about identity theft?
Yeah, Chris, I've actually had someone say to me, but I take all sorts of protective measures, like I don't bank online.
Mhm.
But the problem is your bank banks online, your doctor's office banks online, your college alumni records are online, the IRS is online. So there are things we can do, but really to avoid being a victim nowadays is just not even possible. And I mean, unless you literally are off the grid, living like outside of society.
Well, yeah, I never would have thought that I don't bank online for what I do. But if I'm one of those people who don't bank online, to think that, okay, well, almost everything else is online. No matter what you do, it's just all automated online. So your information's going to get out there, whether you put it out there yourself or not. So you work for ID Shield. Can you tell us what is ID Shield?
Yeah. So ID Shield is a service sold by Legal Shield, and it is a full service restoration identity theft program. So it's a monthly service that you pay for, where they're actively monitoring your entire world, and it comes with $1 million insurance policy. It is the most comprehensive identity protection and reputation management out there today.
That sounds really interesting. Tell us a little bit more. How is this different than other identity theft programs?
Well, and we are fortunate that this consumer need is so great that a lot of companies have stepped up and are offering protection. ID Shield uses licensed private investigators, and I believe we're the only ones who do. We also have that $1 million insurance policy, like I mentioned, which is different. And our plans, like our legal plans, come with unlimited consultation. That's something we really believe in, that people need to be able to just call and ask and call back and take the time it's needed to unpack these situations when they happen. So we also have an app. For those of you who are tech savvy, we have a great app where members can check their credit scores and see all of their life and what the alerts are in different departments of their life.
I love the $1 million policy, but I also love that you give them unlimited, questions to ask, because you don't know when identity theft is going to happen. It could happen at any moment, and just because you had your identity stolen one time doesn't mean it's not going to happen again. So you just want to make sure that everything is protected as possible, and having ID Shield sounds like that's going to help protect you from some of the things that could happen. But how do we know that ID Shield is a quality service?
Well, we were actually just written up in Forbes Advisor for 2021 as the best overall identity theft protection service. So we're really proud of that. And we're monitoring people's medical records, their passport, their driver's license, retirement accounts, social security number, every aspect of their social media that they tell us to monitor. So it's a really in-depth protection. And the thing is, it's going to happen to you. It happens to everybody at some point, and you don't know how to fix it. And you don't have the tools or information or knowledge to fix it. So I think people just are better off protecting themselves with something like ID Shield. And then when it does happen, you'll be alerted, and then they're going to fix it. But check us out in the Forbes Advisor article, because it was great press for us.
Very cool. Very cool. So why, for a new first-time home buyer, why do you think ID Shield would be important? I know you mentioned before, but let's just kind of go a little bit deeper dive on that.
Well, and you two can speak to this also, but a new homeowner is having a ton of activity with their world, with their identity, with their credit, with their name, addresses. They're making purchases. They're applying for funding. They're switching their utilities. They're changing their address. They're getting new insurance. They're giving their information to plumbers and electricians. They're having carpenters come in possibly. So it's all of these areas where threat can happen. Someone can throw something away and it can be stolen. Someone can send an email that's not safe and it can be stolen. And you want to guess what it costs, what it sells for on the dark web, a bundle of your information, like your name and your social and your address. You want to guess what that costs on the dark web? I mean, what the thieves get if they sell it?
I feel like the number that I'm thinking of is much too high.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I'm just going to say $1,000.
Exactly. That's what a good bundle goes for. And a passport goes for $1,000. So the motivation is high to steal our identity and use it for fraud. It's not just about somebody charging a violin on someone else's credit card. It's about selling someone's bundle so that somebody can buy that and go have surgery in your name. Now you're responsible for those medical bills. It's your name, it's your social, it's your health insurance, it's your address. How are you going to prove that you didn't have surgery? I mean, you almost literally have to go down to the hospital and show them you don't have a scar. And just think of the entanglements that this would take. We don't have the time or the skills or the money to undo this ourselves when it happens. So you really want to just protect yourself with the service and know that it's peace of mind.
Yeah, I don't think people realize how easily that your information can get stolen, and if it does, how much time you need to invest to do it. I actually was just talking to somebody yesterday who said that their information was stolen from their bank card and their credit cards. So they had to go in, lock everything down, making sure that they couldn't have access to the money, but now everything's frozen. So they have to reestablish everything, open a new account, get all their automatic payments set back up again. And it would just be a very big pain. And I don't think that they had ID Shield.
Right.
I did talk to them about it. So they are going to be looking into it, because, you don't want to purchase this or use this after your identity has been stolen. You want to be proactive about it. So speaking of that, how much does this cost and how can I sign up for it?
So we have a 3-bureau and 1-bureau, and we really recommend that everyone get our 3-bureau plan because it just comes with enhanced privacy management. And the best protections possible. For a family, which is a couple and their children, it's $29.95 a month, so just about $30 a month. If you are a single person, it's $15.95 a month, so just about $16 a month for an individual.
Now with that amount, that covers all of the areas that you spoke about, right? The
Yes,
the
it's
credit.
full service monitoring of everything. And let's say, for example, money is actually stolen out of your retirement fund. You have $1 million policy to protect you for that kind of theft. So it's a really robust plan. They're not just going to tell you what happened. There are services out there that tell you what happened, and that's great because you need to know. ID Shield is going to tell you what happened, and then they're going to say, and we're going to fix it. And we will get your credit back to the way it was. We're going to restore it back to how it was before this happened.
That's a much better thing. I mean, it's not like, it's great to be able to say, hey, we think your identity's been stolen. Now go take care of it. Whereas, hey, we wanted to let you know your identity has been stolen and we are going to fix this for you. So don't worry too much about it. It's a big difference there.
So hopefully our viewers, we would get the shield prior to, but let's say they forget, we get busy with our lives. And if something does happen, is it too late at that time to join?
We tell people to sign up and to speak with our private investigators, and they try to be as helpful and as flexible as they can be and do whatever they can do. So
Gotcha.
yes, sign up anyway.
Okay. So any last thoughts you wanted to leave us with this morning? Good information.
Thank you. I'm just grateful. I'm grateful to be here, grateful to have the opportunity to talk about it with you guys. It's a fabulous service. It's a really reputable company that I'm proud to be a part of. They constantly impress me at Legal Shield and ID Shield. So I wake up every morning and it's like, I don't have to go to work. I get to go do this. So I'm just really appreciative of all of it. So thank you.
What I like about it is, as far as you say, if something did happen, your credit was affected by it, you get it back to where, it was. Because as Rebecca and I can attest to this, interest rates, certain loan programs are going to be so affected by as far as what your credit score is. So in our world, it plays a very big impact as far as if something like that were to happen for identity theft that would affect your credit.
And that's a great thing about the app. Because so I'm going to see if you can see my app. When I open up my ID Shield, my credit score is right there, right on the screen. So you can watch it, and it turns out I have 2 alerts. So I need to go in there today and see what's going on. But that's it's a great peace of mind. You can open it up and be like, okay, my credit score hasn't changed, so nothing really bad is going on. So it's nice to have easy access to it.
Like Big Brother looking out for you.
Mm-hmm. In a good way.
Yes, a good way, good way.
It can be bad sometimes. Susan, if anybody wants to get in touch with you or sign up for ID Shield, how would they go about doing so?
Probably the easiest way is to find me on LinkedIn, just under my name.
Perfect.
What we can do is we'll post your information in our show as well too.
Great.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Susan, for being on the show. We truly appreciate it.
Thank you.
So what do you guys want to learn? What do you want to know? We're always looking to hear from our viewers as far as any topics that are of interest to you. Feel free to message us as far as what you'd like to know. Also, if you're interested in being a guest, let us know too. We are booking into springtime and we got some really good, exciting shows coming on up. So if you find this show of interest, please feel free to forward this to your friends, family, and coworkers, and tune in next Saturday at 10 o'clock Central Standard Time.
Yes, thank you again, everyone, for tuning in. We truly appreciate it. We love doing this, love educating you. And please let us know if there's anything that you do want us to talk about and dive deeper into. So here we go real quick with the compliance that we always have to do. So your home show is sponsored by CG Home Loan Partners of Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation and MLS number 2289. We are licensed in Minnesota, Wisconsin, and California. Chris Weniger, NMLS number 225608. Rebecca Guerrero, NMLS number 1728384, and Carrie Guerrero, NMLS number 209015. Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation is an equal housing opportunity. This is not an offer to enter into any agreement. Not all customers will qualify. Information, rates, and programs are subject to change without notice. All products are subject to credit and property approval. So if you have not done so, please find us on Facebook at Your Home Show. Like us, comment on us, follow us, let us know what you think. So thanks everyone, and I hope you have an amazing day.